Welcome into Dolphins Today. I'm your host, Will Scott, with the newest edition of the Dolphins mailbag. You have submitted your questions, and soon I will answer them. But first, if you could please like this video if you want more Dolphins content. We got the draft coming up in just a few days. We're going to be breaking down every single Dolphins draft pick. So like this video if you want more Miami Dolphins content. Our first question on today's mailbag coming in from Waddle Season. Jalen Waddle, can't wait to see those Penguin end zone sellies. What do you think? Who do you think, I should say, will have a breakout season on the Miami Dolphins? That's a great question. We obviously have a lot of new members of this team, a very different roster from last year. But I'm going to say someone who's on the roster but didn't play last year, Lynn Bowden Jr. is who I think is going to have a breakout season for Miami. Do not sleep on this guy. I think a lot of people kind of forgetting about him because he didn't play last season. He was on injured reserve after suffering a hamstring injury in training camp last year and missed the entire season. Showed some flashes in his rookie season, 28 receptions after a phenomenal career at Kentucky, specifically the 2019 season with the Wildcats. So basically, here's what went down. He was a wide receiver, and then Kentucky's first and second string quarterbacks got injured. He's named the starting quarterback and becomes one of the best athletes in the SEC, was a first-team All-American, against Louisville, set the SEC record for most rushing yards in a game, going for 284 yards, 4 touchdowns against their biggest rival. This comes after a very successful high school career at the quarterback position. He goes to Kentucky and does it all for the Wildcats. So, look, when you look at Lynn Bowden and in his versatility, you pair that up with Mike McDaniel, who is known for really doing well with versatile athletes. Lynn Bowden is going to be making plays, and a lot of them, I think, this season for the Dolphins. You can put him as the Wildcat quarterback, running back, receiver. He can do it all. But let me ask you, who do you think will have a breakout season on the Miami Dolphins? Let me know what you think down in the comments section. Here's currently the wide receiver room for the Dolphins. Tyreek Hill in, Devontae Parker out to New England. You insert Cedric Wilson into the slot, and then Bowden likely behind him. I think Bowden is going to have a big impact on this Dolphins team. My guy Johan says, I heard that Deebo Samuel requested a trade. Big NFL news yesterday, obviously. Should Miami go all in for Deebo on a blockbuster trade? Here is what a Deebo trade might look like. The Dolphins would have to give up a lot to get him. And like I've said, in order for the Dolphins to trade for Deebo, that is something they would have to do after the NFL draft. They don't have any draft capital this year, so they would have to give up some of their picks next year, probably a first, second, and third round pick. Granted, if you trade those 3 picks, you're still going to have 2 picks in the first 3 rounds of the draft, including a first-round pick. So maybe it's worth giving that up for Deebo Samuel, but you would have to pay him a lot, which is a con of this trade. And let's break down the pros and the cons. Obvious pro, you add another versatile weapon to this Miami Dolphins offense. You legitimize yourself as contenders. Right now, it's a question mark. Are the Dolphins contenders in the AFC? I would say yes. A lot of others would say no. If they trade for Deebo, absolutely they're contenders. I don't think anybody would deny that. Cons, you don't really need him. You already have arguably the best wide receiver room in the National Football League. You would have to pay him north of $25 million, which would mean you're paying your top 2 receivers almost $60 million. And I'm assuming they're going to want to extend Waddle here in a few seasons, and maybe Tua as well, if Tua really performs this next year. And another thing that I listed as a con is, according to some reports, one of the reasons he requested a trade from San Francisco was because he was unhappy with his role there, that he just wants to be a wide receiver and not a wide back. I don't know if I'm buying that, because that kind of made him into the player that he is today and really upped his value. Let me ask you, though. Do you want Deebo in Miami? Type your wife for yes or you're in for no. I'm against trading for him. But if Deebo gets traded to the Dolphins, we're going to have a marathon party here on Dolphins Today. I might have to wear like a Lilo and Stitch Hawaiian shirt with some shades. Bro, we're gonna be having a big party here if the Dolphins can somehow trade for Deebo Samuel, but I think it's unlikely. In fact, I think you're not going to like this, Dolphins fans, but I think the New York Jets are going to trade for Deebo Samuel. They have 2 top 10 picks in the draft. I think they give up one to get Deebo. And if anything happens with Deebo Samuel, we're going to keep you in the loop throughout not just free agency. Free agency still, going on, a lot of big names available, but we're going to keep you posted throughout the entire draft as well. When the Dolphins make a pick, minutes later, we're going to be in here making a video here at Chat Sports, getting you all the info you need on every single Dolphins draft pick, which, who knows, one of them could be Tyler Linderbaum out of Iowa, who is clearly the best center in this draft. So this question, should we trade up to get Tyler Linderbaum if he goes early second round? I think he's going to be a first-round pick. I think that's very likely. I've seen some mock drafts that have him going as high as number 17 or 18. I mean, that's how good he is. He's the best center prospect that we've seen probably in the last decade. Very slim chance he falls to the second round. But if he does, I have put together this trade package with our friends, not so much friends, at the New York Jets. So the Dolphins are going to get the number 35 overall pick. This is if Linderbaum slips into the second round. The Jets receive Dolphins' third-round pick this year, second-round pick, third-round pick next year. I don't know if that would be enough, but you're still giving up a lot to go up and get a center when there's probably going to be a good center on the board at 102, including my guy, Luke Fortner from Kentucky. And I know a lot of y'all miss betting on football. You can bet on the draft, though, at BetUS. Promo code Dolphins125 for a 125% deposit bonus. That means if you put in $100 or whatever, you are going to get $125 free cash to bet. Here's the first quarterback taken, the odds for that. I mean, Kenny Pickett, I think there's some value with taking him. Apparently, Carolina really likes him. Maybe he'll go 6 to Carolina. Malik Willis, the betting favorite to be the first quarterback taken in the NFL draft. Winter Skull, my guy, one of our most loyal subscribers here on Dolphins Today. Shout out Winter Skull. Winter Skull says, not even a question. He just says, sign J.C. Tretter. No questions asked. I don't have any question for you, Will, but I want to sign J.C. Tretter. And let's keep this train rolling. J.C. to Miami. Let's make it happen. If you tweet hashtag JC to Miami and at JC Tretter, I will retweet your tweet. Let's get it done before the draft, Chris Greer, and sign JC Tretter. Then we don't have to draft a center and can maybe take a guy like, let's say, James Cook in the third round. Omaha said, says trade 2 fourths and a fifth to move up in the second round and snag Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean, a projected late first-round pick, also could go early in the second round. I think it's more likely he goes first round. Arguably one of the best linebackers in this class, was a unanimous All-American at Georgia in 2021, won the Butkus Award for Nation's Best Linebacker. So, Omaha, I have taken your question, and I have put it into this trade proposal to the Detroit Lions. The Lions rebuilding. They need more players. They need more picks. So here's my proposal. The Dolphins move into the first round, all the way up into the first round, number 32 overall, last pick in the first round, but they're giving up a lot to do it. Third-round pick this year, second-round pick next year, third-round pick next year, and AVG. I don't know. You know, it's wild. I thought this might be too much. My friend Tom Downey here at Chat Sports, who's going to be hosting our NFL draft coverage on the main Chat Sports channel. Go and subscribe to them, by the way. He says that's not enough. He says it would take a first-round pick next year for this to happen. I'm not giving up a first-round pick next year. Even Chris Greer said at his press conference the other day that keeping those 2 first-round picks is very important for the team. And I like AVG. AVG's a solid player. I'm going to keep Van Ginkel, but this is probably what it would take to go up and get a guy like Nakobe Dean. I don't think it's realistic. I don't think the Dolphins are going to be looking to trade into the first round. If they had a second-round pick, it would be doable. They don't have a second-round pick. In fact, their first pick very, very late in the third round. Let me ask you, is Nakobe Dean worth trading up and getting? Type your T for trader, your S for stay. I'm going to stay at pick 102 and get Luke Fortner. If they don't sign J.C. Tretter. J-Money 807, what's poppin'? Is Mike McDaniel the nerdiest coach in NFL history? I don't think he's nerdy. I think he's cool. I mean, look at this guy. This guy, I mean, he's rocking the shades. This guy looks like he was born to be in Miami. I mean, look at this. The definition of cool, Mike McDaniel. Also a meme machine, and we're going to be tweeting this a lot throughout the season. Mike McDaniel just out-schemed your defense. This one's probably my favorite, though. He looks like a Starbucks barista. I mean, I have no words. I was dying when I saw that meme for the first time. So let me ask you, in honor of Mike McDaniel looking like a Starbucks barista, what's your go-to coffee order? Mine is white chocolate mocha hot, no whip. Every single time, make no mistake, wherever it's at, I'm always getting a white chocolate mocha. Let me know down in the comments what your go-to coffee order is. Mr. Goldenberg says, do you think the Dolphins are AFC East contenders? Yes, absolutely, because look at all the moves this team has made this offseason. You got Emmanuel Ogbah back. You got Mike Gesicki back. You brought in Connor Williams, Teddy Bridgewater to back up Tua, Raheem Mostert, Chase Edmonds. You made all of these big-time moves, of course, trading for Tyreek Hill and signing Teron Armstead being the biggest moves. The Dolphins were 9-8 last year. They barely missed out on the playoffs, and this is a football team that has gotten significantly better. Absolutely, the Fins can compete with the Buffalo Bills in the AFC East. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Dolphins Today Mailbag. If you haven't already, please hit that big red button and subscribe. This has been Will Scott. We'll talk to you tomorrow, Dolphins fans. Go Fins.